flaws and all. Womanhood, sisterhood, and traveling through the worst hood. Adulthood. Conversation from a woman's point of view. This is the S.I.S Podcast.
Hey, sis.
Hey, sis.
Welcome back for season 4, baby. It's getting bigger and better every time. And baby, we are talking about what the worst hood, adulthood.
Ghetto.
Transition from adolescence to adulthood, okay?
My mama said every day it's like this.
When did we become the adults in the room?
Ghetto.
Okay. So baby, today it's your good host, Gini. And to my left, I have my beautiful ladies.
It's everybody's favorite TT. Your favorite TT, as always. Don't do me.
Oh, girl, no, we love it.
I'm glad she cut it off early.
Hello, because I just knew that TT.
Y'all irky, don't
Okay. Anyway, it's Fee.
It's your girl, Queez.
And your girl, Well.
And we are back and better. So let's just go ahead and kick it off and get right into this ghetto conversation. Because, baby, that's what this whole season about. The ghetto. All right?
Ghetto.
So, as we know, those of us, we all went to college, and college is literally kind of like that mini social experiments or whatever. You adulting, but you're not really adulting.
No.
It's
You
kind of
still
like
calling mama for everything.
you still asking for
you grown.
mommy, daddy.
You doing grown.
Can you sell me some money for some books? Knowing good and well you going to the Soul Inn or whatever like that.
I mean,
What?
Oh, you didn't go to see.
Yeah, that's you language.
And then you acting like you balling. You got your money in your pocket and stuff. You trying to feed the family. Hey, you need something to eat? You want something?
I got you some pizza.
Oh, y'all was trifling. Meanwhile, I'm working hard for my money.
I was working real hard. Okay, eating these daggone ramen noodles and Hawaiian punch.
Listen, so we fast forward and graduation happens. We about to, get this big girl job.
And then them big bills hit.
Yeah. What was the transition like from leaving that college life, this bubble where you think you adults, and then really transitioning into, oh shit, I am an adult. Yeah.
I think for me it's a little different, right? Because, my transition was non-traditional, where I've been paying bills for a long time, like since being a teenager. So paying bills was not new to me. That's been a, unfortunate responsibility since I was very young. So I would say the transition was more of, I went from being able to be in a space that was solely selfish. I feel like the most selfish thing I did was go to college and focus on myself, you know what I mean? And just do whatever I wanted to do, have fun, but still had to pay bills. So now ain't no doing whatever I want to do and have fun no more. It's just all bills. Gotta pay bills. It's just bills.
Can you pay my bills?
Let's go to the Right.
For real.
That's what I need, somebody to pay these bills. Okay.
Yeah, for me, honestly, I would say, because I've always been like an adult. That's the part that really is super ghetto for me. Because, of course, having a kid at 15, I jump started with, paying for things. I remember actually having a car note at 16.
Oh,
yeah. I brought a car from a cousin who already, he was trying to get rid of his car, but he still had a car note that was $350. And I remember,
oh, damn.
yeah, because I was making money. So I literally,
you was making $350
what?
at 16?
Let me tell you,
the womb grown.
for real.
I was making $350 at 16.
Yeah.
I don't think I was.
Yeah, I was making good money,
I'm
but I didn't have any other real bills, of course, until I went off to college. And then when I decided to move off campus, that's when I got a glimpse. But because, I didn't really hit adulting, like paying my own stuff, solely me, until about a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And let me tell y'all, this paycheck to paycheck. It ain't for the week. Oh, my God.
It's not for the faint of heart.
It's not. I don't like it.
Listen,
It's it's wild.
I do not recommend. I mean, like 0 out of 10 stars.
Don't recommend.
Do not recommend.
Negative stars.
Like, rating. What are you talking about? Like,
Worst thing.
Mine was completely different. It's crazy to hear y'all say that, especially T-Will, because I'm just like, it was so different for me. My parents, especially my dad, was like, you are not working until you graduate high school.
I love
no
that.
working. Like, I was like, my friends are getting summer jobs and they talking about making money. No, you gonna sit your butt down and enjoy being a kid. And at
I
the
love
time,
that.
of course,
Oh, I
you're
love
like,
that.
I want to be
love
like my
that.
friends. I want to go. But baby, I'm so glad. He said you got the rest of your life to work.
You sure enough do, child.
You only have a few
I've been
years to be a child.
All my
And so
life I
my
had
dad
that.
was like, he was a big advocate about life.
Clap for pop. Clap for daddy. Yes, daddy. Round of applause.
Yeah, I love my daddy. He's the little snuggle bear. Hey, daddy.
Grown ass.
Right. Oh, I can tell you a daddy girl.
Don't upset me because he already know. Don't upset me because I'm an adult, of course, but talking about like your parents still not paying up for you, he still paying a little something. So that's why I'm like, am I?
Does he?
Hope I won't be judged.
I'm Can you make a little
Because
That's super awesome.
I don't know what car insurance look like.
Girl, baby, see, these are the parents
And
that I
then-
aspire to
Not
be.
that $500 I'm paying each month. Say
That is the real luxury. Having parents that still will help you and pay bills as an
And then
adult
phone
is a
bills,
luxury.
I'm still on their plan. So
I'm saying,
and,
honey.
and I got
She got a whole husband
and I
and
got a
two
whole
kids.
husband, 2 kids. I will be judged. I will be judged. I will be judged.
That's a blessing. Child, no, that's
It's a judgmental blessing. Okay,
Listen.
baby.
I love you, daddy.
I try not to be envious of
And
people,
hopefully you
but
disclaiming this, don't make him rethink like maybe I should kick her
That's why
Right.
I love you, daddy. Look at my eyes. Zoom in. I love you, daddy. Don't you ever change.
Right.
It's just something about a dad love. Like,
Man. And every time, and my mama, of course, is envious. So she's like, don't, you better not make me mad. I'm gonna tell your dad, said, don't upset me. Don't upset me.
dang, I know. I would have been the same way.
Mama, stay over there. You got your lane.
Don't upset me.
Okay.
And then all the time, she said, you got a whole husband, 2 kids, and you talking about your
mind your
dad.
business.
Don't upset me is what I say. But I mean, like I said, that's how it was. Like he was like, no, not until you graduate, you're not getting a job. And so once I graduated, I started actually because he is a manager. He owns like one of the Captain D's in Birmingham, and so it's like. He was like, you can't work with me because that's going to be a conflict. So I'm going to get you on. And so I was just doing like little 3-hour work. Like I wasn't even really working for real. And all the money that I made, I just kept. He wouldn't let me pay for nothing. So it was until I got to school, graduated, got off campus. And
Lord, I see what you do for others, Lord.
You can do it for them.
You can do it for me.
I'm still a baby. but when I got off campus, though, that's when I first started. Because I saw bills, but I never had any in my name to pay. So when I got off campus, that was my first time seeing bills. And because of the things that my parents instilled in me, I was the advocate for, because my dad always pressed good credit, pay your stuff, be responsible, have integrity. You say you're going to do something, do it. And so he always had still does have a wonderful credit score. So that's what I aim for. Like I remember one time we was having a credit score battle. Like he was like, oh, his is like 800. I'm trying to get to 900. Like we were battling, and this is before the loans hit, of course. So I'm still, I'm out of school, but the loan, the grace period is still there.
Yeah.
And so he always built that, like, pay your bills on time.
Yeah.
Have a great credit score, have credibility behind your name.
Yeah.
And so loved all of that until the student loans hit and they started saying you got to pay
Your
this
mama knew
money.
what she was doing
and I'm
when
like,
she married him.
Oh yeah, like they've been married longer than I've been alive. So
Listen, she knew what she was doing.
She was like, she nailed it down and kept it down.
Yeah.
So shout out to mama.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I was like, what is
Mama's always get number 3. That's so sad. Mama's always get number 3. You did. Go back and watch season 3, y'all.
I like that's my dog. She already know. Anywho, but it's like I was like these student loan bills, and that's why I started seeing the bills in my name. And I'm like, how do I juggle all this? Is ghetto. Daddy, help! Like I don't know how to do this. And then he's like, I can't help too much. I mean, you got to learn some of this stuff on your own. So that's when he started trying to back up. He ain't backed up all the way. Please don't. But I was like that's when I started seeing the real ghetto of these bills, and then I started getting, especially going home and then having a child. So that's a whole nother expense. And luckily I had a good foundation and support system that they were able to help me. So I didn't have to put her in daycare. Yeah. But still, like I still had to pay and do all these other stuff. Like it started getting real ghetto. And then when you get a house and a mortgage.
Yes.
That's when you start feeling the weight, child.
Girl.
I tell my husband, I had a baby.
Soft like we always.
I have a baby, homie.
I feel you because
listen, y'all. Educators are struggling.
For real.
We are struggling, but educators they
I'm a big advocate of joint accounts.
That's why you call them daddies. They take care of you.
I got two daddies.
Big daddy.
Listen.
Baby, I hear what I say, babe. I'm like, Quay, what you want? Like, you already know I'm a baby.
Be like, babe, I need to do a transfer. Just be like,
I love that.
For me, guys, I've been working since high school as well, but my mom was a single parent and my dad was incarcerated.
Yeah.
Now, if he made better decisions, legal decisions, I would be like where Queese is on.
Right.
Because when he is home,
right. Soft like
for
me.
me and Drake.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's like, but Daddy don't be home. So your girl working,
Right, still working.
And
it's
so
ghetto.
I had to like help my mom and stuff at home. So I was like ready to get out. That's why I did not go to college in New Orleans. I was like, it was like Xavier, Tulane. I was like, no. Right. I'm not babysitting.
Yeah.
While I'm in college.
Right. I'm not doing none of that.
Money's gonna be my money.
Yeah.
Right.
But I've been working
facts.
since high school.
I feel
I
that.
had to get my own like stuff for high school. When you're getting ready to graduate.
Yeah.
Stuff. I had to help my mom with that stuff. My mom was a single parent with 3 kids.
Yeah.
And then when I went to college, I was on a full ride naval scholarship.
Oh, wow.
So
She'd be up
studying
there
on
all night.
student. So I was
She was strong
in nursing and naval sciences. And then it was work because I had drill every morning, 4:45. And then at one time I was the platoon chief, so I had responsibilities.
Okay,
we
chief.
do watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Well,
have
with
watch
it, baby.
night where you're like watching,
Daddy.
you're getting ready because you go through boot camp and everything.
Yeah.
So my summer before college was boot camp. So yeah, I've been working, child. So when I met Big Daddy,
Big Daddy me please.
And if you watched last season, you will understand who
love
Big
that.
Daddy is and why that's her husband.
right?
Big Daddy don't play about his baby now.
Okay, I've been free since.
And we thank God.
Because all my life I had to fight.
Listen.
Again, Lord, I see what you do for others. And you do it for me. Jesus, because in a second I'm about to become some Arab princess knife wife. Just give me that 1 month a year. I got you for 30 days. Go on to the rest of them.
You so
Oh
silly.
my goodness.
You so silly.
So, now that we've transitioned into the life of bill paying, what we do to pay those bills is the question. So all of us here,
strange.
y'all tuned in
For a piece.
or season 2.
Don't make me go on record saying nothing, girl.
Lord. Yeah. Y'all know that we're college educated women. And so we all have degrees. What are your degrees in, and are you working in that field?
That's good.
Well, I went to school for forensic science and chemistry and hated it. For anybody that wants to get into that, let me just, you know what I mean, serious real quick, right? No. It ain't gonna be that long. I'm just kidding. Because it's very direct. If you look like me, male or female, and you want to go into the field of forensic science, understand you are going to forever work for the Department of Justice. The DOJ is the DOJ, period. I'm going to leave that there. Take from it what you want. The DOJ is the DOJ, okay? It is a highly toxic environment. It is very male-dominated environment. There are a lot of prejudices in that environment, and there's no way around it. Doesn't matter if you're on a state, local, or federal level. The DOJ is the DOJ. So understand that before you go into it, before you spend this money going through school, because you think it's just the science aspect. No. That's just actually a very small portion of it. You still got to deal with the politics and the reality and the environment of the Department of Justice.
That's a fair statement.
Just full disclaimer for anybody who's considering that as a career, because that is something that you just need to be mindful of before you go to college and spend all this money to get a degree in something to work in an environment you can't work in. But now I work in HR. Who would have known that?
Right, that's a twist of
Who
events.
would have known that? You know? Nobody would have known that at all.
All about the DOJ, but I worked for they.
I fell into it. It was definitely on accident, not, you know what I'm saying, on purpose, because if anybody would have told me back then, I'd be smoking big drugs.
Okay. So I went to the unsinkable Albany State University, where I earned my bachelor's in
where your potential was realized.
Absolutely. Where I earned my bachelor's in middle grades education. And I actually first started out doing psychology. Like, I'm in love with psychology. The only thing was they wanted too many maths, and me and math, we was not getting along.
No.
We were not getting along. I had no money.
You can count your money.
That's it, though. What that gotta do is statistics and all that kind of stuff. I don't need all that.
Math does get ghetto at some point.
It does. Yeah, it does. And I mean, I couldn't even pass college algebra the first time. Like,
hold on.
It was not.
You're right, because I had
math.
to take that psychological statistics.
Yeah.
Baby, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, like who uses that? Who uses that? So I end up switching my major
People use it every
to
day.
early childhood. Realized I don't really enjoy teaching little kids. I don't even.
It's not.
Never mind.
Everybody.
So I switched it to middle grades, and like I said, got my bachelor's in that. And then the moment that I realized that I was gonna have to start paying back those loans, I was just like, let me go back to school again.
Forever student.
So
I love
I
it.
immediately went back and received my master's in special education. And then in a moment that I realized that I was going to have to pay those loans, I started my PhD program in leadership, in educational leadership. And then I realized I don't actually want to stay in a school system. So I quit teaching and I quit school. And then the loans came. And then the moment I realized that I was going to have to pay back those student loans, I am now in school again. Receiving my specialist in curriculum instruction and design. So
Forever student.
Yeah, after that, I'll probably go back to school again. And I'll be in school forever. Because I'm not paying them back.
You're never getting the money. Get it in blood.
Okay, you're going to have to go find me.
Get it in blood. You feel me? Yeah. Okay. Well, I got my degree from the lovely, illustrious Tuskegee University.
You know what? Now we outnumbered.
It is. But I got my degree or my bachelor's in biology. And it's interesting to hear T will talk about forensic science because, and I didn't know anything about this field when I got my biology degree, but they don't tell you that, you want to be a doctor, because I wanted to be a cardiovascular surgeon. I know. And so, but when I got there and I started falling in love with the research, the whole George Washington Carver experience and all that, and started going to the foundation where they were doing prostate cancer research. And then I got to breast cancer research. And so I was like, I really like this lab part. And then I got an internship with Morehouse School of Medicine, Tuskegee, and UAB doing research at Morehouse School of Medicine. And I was like, hold on, we started doing this grant writing stuff. And I was like, hold on, I don't like begging for money. It's the grant writing part of it. Like, I got to beg you to help me save lives. But I'm begging for this money. Give it to me.
This is America.
What am I doing? I'm trying to help you potentially, you know? And so I was like, yeah, this is ghetto. So I was like, how do I get my love for the lab that I have now and, you know, be in a hospital setting? Because I always knew I was meant to help people and nurture. Because my aunt got breast cancer she was diagnosed when I was 16. And so I was helping with her recovery, like cleaning her ports and stuff like that. And I just had an affinity for helping people and doing stuff of that nature. So I was like, I got to be in a hospital. I have to help people.
That's why your daddy take care of you. You a good dog.
Oh, thank you. I try. You know, sometimes I go off the Richter. But, you know, but for the most part, I always have been focused. I always knew what I was destined to do internally because I just knew I had that conviction to want to help people. And so I knew I had to be in a hospital setting somehow. I didn't know how God was going to make it happen. But, you know, I just thought automatically because you just think doctor, nurse when you think hospital. But when you get into that field, you automatically find out that it's more facets, more avenues to go into. And so, like I said, I literally Googled because when I graduated from Tuskegee, I was like, okay, I don't want to go to medical school anymore, but I want to be in the lab. But how do I do that? So I literally Googled, what can you do with a biology degree and be in a hospital setting? And medical laboratory science came up. And so they had a grad program at UAB. I said, perfect. I always wanted to go to UAB. I'm from Birmingham, so I can go back home. And so I got my master's from UAB in clinical laboratory science to become a medical laboratory scientist. But the awesome thing about it, like I was talking about too, was forensic science, is that with that degree, only a few more classes and you can become a forensic scientist. Wow. Yep. And so so there is other avenues. if you find yourself in the forensic science field and it's not for you or you don't want to fight with the DOJ, because it's more hospital regulated than it is about the whole Department of Justice. So if you do love science and you do find yourself having an affinity for chemistry, hematology, biology, all those things, medical laboratory science might be for you. This is not a promo, but I'm just saying.
I love that.
I mean, because
you can. It is because
there's so many different avenues with it. Because if you have a specialization, if you like microbiology, if you like blood bank, if you like those blood products, I'm a hematology person, so I love hematology. And like the cancer cells, I still got to do my cancer cells. So I was like, hello, God, thank you. And then like bone marrow aspirations, I love doing bone marrow. So it's like if you love those type of things,
you have a real job.
On in.
I love that. I teach students every day.
The crazy.
So basically, tell me I just put a transition to the lab instead of going to human resources. Okay,
right.
But they don't tell you that. When you think hospital, you thinking doctor, nurse. You don't think about the other things in the internal workings because the laboratory is not as publicized as it should be. They don't advocate as much, and that's one of the things that I am so grateful for because in that job field, I was able to transition up, and I'm now the education coordinator for the lab. So now I get to go out and be the face and say, hey, go to these high school students and these college students and say, hey, you don't have to just go and be a doctor or a nurse.
Girl, where you at when I was 25, 26 and made a career change?
I couldn't be there with you because we was running trying to figure it out. But I was trying to hopefully catch these folks that are in school now to say, hey, you have other avenues to explore,
I love that.
and you might like this better. So, I just hate that we're not as publicized because it is like the overlooked part of it. You think the doctor comes out of the pocket knowing what to do. It's actually someone who's college educated that's telling them like, hey, I see these cancer cells. Like we had a girl a couple of days ago, this kid, and I hate to go into a whole story, but it really is an awesome experience. Like this kid they were sick. They thought they possibly had cancer, was about to start treating them. One of my coworkers was looking at the blood slide, found a parasite.
Wow.
The child had just digested contaminated water. Wow. And it was causing them to have an internal effect to actually hurt them.
And they was about to do cancer
treatment.
They was about to do
on this child. Yeah, because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. He was just
so it has to be
sick.
cancer.
Yeah,
so it just had
but
to be cancer.
They didn't know. They did all these tests. They was trying to just
saving lives.
If they really do
every day.
But the doctor gets the credit for it,
of course.
Because you don't know.
That's who the patient sees.
And they have that patient,
which is even worse because honestly, it be the nurses that be doing the work. It's like
shout out to the nurses, the real ones.
Shout out to the nurses.
Shout out to the lab techs that be catching stuff. Shout out,
shout out to the RTs who be helping the people breathe.
All of y'all, like
all y'all in healthcare, not just the doctor.
Everyone is important to make this story come together to help this child.
Shout out to the administrative side who get these bills paid.
Yeah, and so I feel fulfilled by doing that because, like I said, I knew I was supposed to help people, and having situations like that happen and to be able to help that child and change their whole diagnosis and their whole treatment of care to make them better.
That's what's up.
It's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
I knew them parents. I love that.
Good job.
Story a little different.
Okay.
I'm not saving lives, but
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm preparing them.
The next generation.
You have a direct hand.
Saving lives. Because somebody could have been thinking of doing something totally different or not even going to school, and you're redirecting them.
We don't know how long because these behaviors, but I'm gonna get to it. So I started at TU doing nursing. I was a Navy nurse, so I was enlisted in the Navy, and then when I didn't pass my exit exam, met Big Daddy, as y'all know. So I was like sad and went through this phase of depression and stuff because I wanted to be a nurse because of Hurricane Katrina.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Katrina hit. My sister actually was in the NICU. She was in the hospital. She was born 1 pound, and my mom lost one. So we went through this whole thing of finding her because we went to Texas. We traveled with my best friend family, and we actually found my sister on the news. They were like carrying her up because a lot of people killed those patients in the hospitals because the levees broke. So they were going to drown. So a lot of nurses and doctors killed themselves and the patients, but they brought the NICU babies up to the roof of the hospital.
Wow.
Carrying the baby. She had holy oil. Everything had her name on it.
Right.
So some of the babies today, still some parents haven't found their children. They're probably in the system.
Oh my
But
goodness.
for her, the blessing for us was you saw baby Hall on everything on her thing. Because my mom would go up there.
On
My
her
mom
incubator.
would produce she have like H-size breasts, okay? And she would produce so much milk. She used to donate. Because some people gave up like on their babies and stuff in the NICU. So that's how the nursing thing came about. But I always wanted to be an educator since a little girl. But I had to help my mom take care of my little sister. Because my mom, y'all, she smoked weed. By the pound, because she used to have it for and then we saw Hurricane Katrina, baby. She was like,
Shout out to Mama Hall.
Right. When you claim a child, right, and they don't know what's going on because they don't have any doctors documentation and all that, so they don't know what's wrong with the babies.
Yeah.
So when she claimed them and bought a home, they just sent her home with a monitor. I'm not sure if it's like a heart monitor, but it was beeping. It's how we know like she was dying. She was blue in the bed because she couldn't breathe because her epiglottis wasn't formed. So that's the little flap that goes over your trachea.
To make sure and
over your esophagus
so you can breathe.
when you breathe.
Right.
That wasn't formed. So she was drinking milk. They sent her home with a bottle and her lungs was filling up.
Oh, Lord.
So she died and the 911 dispatcher had to give me directions to bring her back to life. So that's how nursing came about. Yes. Then they sent her to she went to the hospital and that's how they was like, oh, this baby can't be.
And I've heard this story before.
This baby has to
crazy.
get a,
Every
so
time.
I used to do her in G-tube, all that stuff. So I was like,
And how old were you again?
This was, when was Hurricane Katrina? Because
We was in middle
It was
school.
like, I was in high school. But
You was a little kid.
Yeah,
we was in,
Wow.
no. Katrina was in elementary school.
Katrina, we were not in no
I know middle school was like 7th grade.
Well, I was in high school.
Forgot your age.
Yeah. So, yes, I had to take on that responsibility. And then she was like, mom had gained a relationship with God, and she was like, when I tell you this weed ain't got nothing on the line. Because when I'm telling you fasting and praying for a life, they said she wasn't going to live, and they just 19 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
nice.
everything.
Look at God.
Do.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Wow.
that's like what inspired me for nursing. Why I wanted to be
Absolutely.
a nurse. I wanted to work.
Yeah.
So after that,
I love that.
After
That's
school,
wonderful.
yes, child, it was a whole thing. So after that, after school with nursing, I was a stay-at-home wife, and then that was boring. It was just
Ghetto.
We didn't have any kids, right? We married 5 years before we had Messiah. So it wasn't that much spa, nails, and all of that. I didn't feel fulfilled.
Right.
Like, okay.
I feel
You
you.
can't go from here. Like
Right.
I'm trying to be like a lifesaver to like,
I'm just
What am I
gonna sit in the
gonna
house
do
and
with
chill.
my life?
I've tried it before too. It's gay.
It wasn't
you
for
had more
me.
purpose.
I'm not knocking the housewives.
I didn't
It
last
just
a month.
wasn't for me.
Yeah.
No,
So
Yeah.
I went back to school and got a degree in early childhood and elementary education, and now that's what I do.
Nice.
Okay.
That is so lovely.
That is.
Look, God have a plan in every way, in every situation.
And you know what? And he knows how to place people in your life that help you fulfill the destiny that you're supposed to have.
Amen.
Because Queese and I's story is actually pretty similar.
Okay.
I do also have my bachelor's degree is in biology, and I initially went to school going to be a doctor, but I wanted to be a pediatric cardiologist.
Okay.
You know, I love the babies, and once I realized I didn't want to be in playing people coochies or whatever like that, you know, because I wanted to deliver the babies. But that's what I say it. Yeah, I'm just saying. I was like, oh, this is a little much. I'm not trying to do all of that. Yeah. So let me. I'm
sorry, OB. She ain't been like that.
Listen,
Right.
We need you.
right?
Healthcare workers.
You know,
Don't play with coochie though.
Yeah, I still wanted to, you know, influence the babies, but like still make money and still do the thing. But then I got to Tuskegee, and you know, my biology professor, she used to do like med school prep classes with us, and because she sat on the board for the medical school board for Emory, baby. I said, "Oh shit, med school for me."
It ain't for
This ain't it. This ain't it. Because, you know, realizing that things like, oh, you always had to maintain board certification.
Yes.
And, you know, you have to do research.
Yes.
You know, and all of that type of stuff. I was just like, this not what I want to do. You know, I really wanted to have direct impact in patient care.
Yes.
And I didn't want to be like, oh, all of that. That wasn't my passion. And so I was like, okay, med school's not it. My daddy broke down and cried because he wanted to say my daughter's a doctor. But sorry for your African daddy. And so
Trust me, he definitely would have got over it.
so then that transitioned me into nursing, and you know that's how Quell and I got really super close or whatever. Unfortunately, I had to transfer out of Tuskegee due to health reasons, and I graduated from the illustrious Howard University. HU, you know, yes. But
If
when
we
I
get
got
a
there,
TU anymore on this daggone podcast, bro.
The hate is real.
All the U's just go.
but when I got there, it was just like I felt like it was like the credits and transferring and all of that type of stuff. It was like, oh, it's gonna take me too long to do this nursing thing at this biology at this bachelor's level. I'm trying to get out of school. I'm tired.
Right.
You know, and I knew at that point there was a gap program where you could go get a master's degree even if you didn't get a bachelor's in science. It was like a bridge program where you could get a master's degree in nursing.
Nice.
At the University of Maryland. And I was like, bet. That's what I'm gonna do. Let me get up out of this school first, and I'm gonna do that transition program. And naturally, just like the bill, the student loan came knocking at the door when I got out that Howard University, and I was like, no. And I didn't want another school bill, so I was just like, okay, how are we gonna pay for grad school?
Right.
Since this is the program I know I want to do. First of all, how do I get into the program? All that type of stuff. And so I went there, and they were like, you know, if you work for the hospital, they pay for your degree. They pay a good substantial amount of your degree. And I said, oh, shit, I need to get a job in the hospital then.
Yeah. Right.
So what job am I going to do with this biology degree? I don't know. And so I ended up getting, I was an administrative coordinator for respiratory care. Nice. And which I'm just like, at that point, I was like, okay, I'm just doing this job just it's an end. But it also gave me insight of actually the things that happened in the hospital.
Right.
And in doing that, I think it came full circle because I ended up not getting my degree in nursing because I realized, oh, maybe I really don't want to do patient care.
Yeah.
Getting kind of like experience in the NICU because I had to track I did nitric oxide audits and getting that experience also in neuro. It was really the neuro ICU that threw me off. The no shade, but it smelled like shit. Yeah. And then the fact that the nurses and the RTs and everybody tell you, oh yeah, they throw shit at us and they throw piss at us and you know all that.
All kinds of stuff happens.
Yeah, I was like, that ain't my calling.
Right.
So once again, how do I have direct impact on helping this, you know, population in the healthcare space,
Right.
without doing that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and that led me to healthcare administration because then it was like, oh, I can have impact and influence the policies of the hospital.
Yes.
And really impact these patient lives. So while I was there, I got my master's in health administration. But then I had to take health IT while I was in that master's program. And so I initially started as health administration, but it ended up with health informatics administration. And so now I am in the field of health IT. And so I still I work for a company that we have direct care and home health care and individuals with disabilities. And so I still get that direct that impacted patient care in a very vulnerable population. And I still impact their lives in a way that makes it beneficial for them. So I get all of my avenues and the paycheck. It be paycheck.
Yeah. We know you, big mama. We know you, big mama. Right.
Big mama. I'm trying to get to big mama.
Right. The money is the motive.
I just want to know how y'all over here sat here trying to play me and was like, put a time limit on her. All of y'all talk long as hell. Through every single last one. I ain't go through no stories.
What's the next question?
Honestly, we really kind of like did that all in one because it was talking about like, well, what career are you in?
Yeah.
Right. Because are you working the degrees that you have?
Yeah, you ain't letting me get though, because y'all want to turn around and put a time limit on it. But go ahead, go to the next question.
Well, now that they understand, y'all understand the careers that we're in.
Right.
Money, teachers.
Yes. And we usually have a second job.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do. I have like 5 jobs.
I was about to say, I still got what you call it?
A bullshit.
Child, it ain't always
I'm a bartender. I'm a travel agent. I do 501c3.
She do lashes.
I do I have a nonprofit. Like I literally have to have 12 million, 11 jobs to really make it full circle because teaching was never anything that I actually thought that I would do, to be honest. Like I did it initially because it was gonna pay back my student loans.
Yeah.
But I end up falling in love with it because I do have a passion for youth. Yeah. Not little kids, but teenagers.
She keep being specific.
I have to be very specific because like special people. Because for one,
I can't do what Fee do. I don't want to do what Fee do.
Right, but her job is so important.
You know they know better. So that's a different kind of heart you have to have and maturity.
Because I can't really get with you like that.
But really you can. But let me explain.
Because if I can't beat them, I can't teach them.
So you have an important job
because the mama and the child.
You have an important job because you laid a foundation. Yes. And elementary school teachers, if you don't like kids, that's not where the fuck you should 100%. Be. It's just not. Because
it's not.
For one, the mindset about school in general starts in elementary. So if you have teachers that are constantly disliking you, now you got them in middle school and they hate school because they've only had a bad experience through elementary school. It's true. Now me, I'm a little bit unethical. I like to, throat chop and do all that kind of stuff to my children sometimes. And unfortunately, when you do that to elementary school kids, the mamas are very overprotective because little Johnny only been on the earth for 5 years and little Johnny is a saint. Yeah. Okay? By the time little Johnny gets to high school, little Johnny been on the earth for 15 years. So by this time, mama like, yeah, girl, do what you gotta do. He working my nerves. Do what you gotta do. I know exactly what you mean.
Like you was fighting the kindergarten.
Okay? So I need to be able
to understand. Yeah. If you don't help them with their social emotional, now they're doing it in high school.
Absolutely.
Stuff they were doing in elementary, they're doing it in high school. It's worse because
Yeah, so I grew into loving, teaching and loving my impact, but outside that, no, I would have been doing something completely different. I don't know what, because it would have had to be easy, because I'm like a person that I ain't got time. I like it to be nice and easy, smooth.
So speaking of that, because we have these big girl jobs and all of us sit here with multiple streams of income. It's not that the truth is that one job don't.
Right. One is at all.
Right. Hey, let's be real.
At all.
No matter how much money is coming in.
Right.
Okay, the money still comes out. So you need multiple streams of income.
Absolutely.
How do you manage paying these bills but also the tension reduction? What do you do? Tension reduction is that work-life balance. Because you need to be able to remove yourself from that workload to show up the next day.
Amateur night.
Yeah.
I would say
no, Nobody
at the strip club. I caught a king of diamonds.
Just kidding.
Not really though.
I mean, the
Listen, many times.
I'm not gonna get on the pole.
Many times, but listen, I got self-confidence, but that's a different level of self-confidence.
Yeah,
that's a different level of self-esteem. You gotta have high self-esteem to do that. But I say that, as far as managing all of that, I feel like if every day is a work in progress, to be honest. Like, you're not going to always have balance, but you got to always work to try and find that balance. Yeah. Because I'm a workaholic, right? Like, and what I learned from my current job, and I thank God for all the struggles, that I've experienced in my current position, because before then, work was my safe space. Work was where I found sought refuge, where I could just escape from everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, because my personal life be lifing, right? And I could just focus on work, and I got control. I got consistency. I control everything that happens in here. But that's not reality, right? Work can't be your refuge, because ain't no job care about you that daggone much. Them people, you know what I'm saying? It may feel like a family because you there all day, every day. Yeah.
But in reality, let something happen to you, your job will be posted.
I work in HR. Let me tell you, I have seen it happen same day. They don't care. Something happened to you. You go to the hospital. You get sick. They don't even care about the fact that you in the emergency room. They like where to work at, because we still got stuff going on. And like, you're just a number, right? You're not. So, and learning that, I had to learn to find different things, like where my refuge is, where my peace needs to be, where I need to start having a schedule, building in time in your day and being consistent with that, setting those boundaries. I'm getting up at this time. From this time to this time, I'm going to pray. I'm going to read my scriptures. I'm going to have my moment with God. From this time to this, I'm going to make breakfast. I'm going to cook something for myself. I'm going to pick a break here, eat lunch.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Lunch.
Having a schedule is
so important.
The best thing. I have a calendar. I live on my calendar. Yeah. Even with with friendships and stuff, because sometimes people don't really understand that you got kids, that you got this, and that.
I got kids.
Like, everything gets penciled in. If it's in the calendar, it's law. Yeah. If you ain't made the calendar,
it ain't happening.
I'll send you a link and fill in a time frame. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, for me, although I have a million things going all at once, literally a million things going all at once, I do that work-life balance by keeping a nice schedule and always like slotting my time in. Like, I make my time, and then I fill in the schedule around my time, like the time that I deserve. Yeah. Like, don't ever put yourself last. That's my suggestion to you guys. Like,
you have been really good at that. You've helped me to be good with that and understanding not to put myself last. Because I had never been to the spa until she done dragged me with her to the spa.
And I go regularly.
And like,
that's great. And then
if you ain't never been, you gotta go.
You bet to, because you have to do things to make sure that you're making time for yourself. Yeah. And I'm not one of those people that can put everything on a calendar, but I have to be mindful. It's about being mindful of yourself and not putting yourself last and not letting the day-to-day things overtake you and be your main priority, because you are a priority too. That's why I try to tell my girls, like, you have to make time for yourself. You have to be conscious about, okay, yes, I got these things to do, but hold on, let me decompress, do some grounding, take some time to do some breathing. Like, go outside and put your feet to the earth and feel the grass. When was the last time you walked outside to breathe in some fresh air? And because potential reduction, it's an integrated experience. It's whatever you're doing to reduce your stress also reduces the stress of others. Yeah. So if you're in a high stake situation and you're always like this, it's gonna make people around you, when they get around you, they're gonna get anxious too. Yeah. So you have to remember that integrated experience. Yeah, you're gonna be transferring their energy. So do things to be mindful about yourself to bring it down. So when I feel like I get anxious about something that I'm doing, I'm like, something gotta go, because I refuse to get stressed out, because I know how I do when I get stressed. So I'm like, because I understand how I am, before I get there, let's stop that. Let's do things to make sure that does not happen, because I don't like how I am then. So I do those grounding experiences, those breathing, those meditations, those readings, and that mindful thinking, stretching, anything to relieve myself, to make my surroundings feel that.
Yeah. Good. They basically said everything that I. For real, we are very disciplined as a family. We have a schedule. We follow. Even my baby, he's on schedule. He on meal prep too.
Okay, meal prep.
He goes to the gym too. So all those things we do. Going to the spa, getting a massage. Like they put me on going to the chiropractor. I didn't even know my insurance covered that. I'm like, y'all getting this money, but y'all didn't
chiropractor.
Shout out to Dr. Woody.
Like all of that. I do all of that. Okay, and I love praying and meditating. That is like, when I first started, it was like 10, 15 minutes. Now sometimes I be late to work like Fee.
Yeah, all the time.
I be there sometimes on my face, like probably not too long to the Lord, but too long for my job. But yeah, all of that was good.
Yeah.
For me,
Sometimes it be like that,
I make
sis.
sure I utilize my PTO. Okay,
Prepare the others.
It's PTO for a reason.
Prepare the
And
others.
listen, because baby, when I say I don't care, I need a mental health day.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it.
Facts.
Work has been working. I'm taking a day.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm calling in sick,
Mental health
and
day.
I'm going to use that.
And
sick
trust
day.
me, they do it. Okay, they make it feel like we always got to work hard and slave ourselves and do all the work, but they take their mental health days on a regular.
That's the best thing I would say about working in education. Our
Ooh, yes.
routine scheduled breaks.
Okay.
So
Every month, bless you.
Yes. So, as we wrapping this episode up, what we want you to take from this is, adulting is ghetto, child.
It
And it's
is.
just like, listen, what it started to look like when you first, entered in that college realm or whatever, hit that 18 and what you thought it was going to look like may not be what it ends up looking like when that bill start really hitting.
But that's
You're
okay.
going to have to do
and it's
what you
okay.
got to do to get it.
So enjoy being a kid. Please enjoy being a kid. As long and parents let them kids be
the
kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because you already know.
Daddy.
Yeah.
As the benchmark.
Okay, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Let's just clone him.
If you can do it for
Bust him out.
them, you can do it for me.
And with that, we are out. Bye, sis.
Bye, sis.
Ta-ta.